Awesome. Making sure I am live here to YouTube. Perfect. Looks good. All right. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, whether you're on Zoom or YouTube. I do not have YouTube pulled up right now, so if you are watching live on YouTube, I can't see you, but feel free to put comments, ask questions. I can always go back when this is over and address all those things, okay? So this is going to be a little bit interactive. I have some questions here that people have asked that I am going to answer. And I just want to open the floor up for anybody that is here as a participant or an attendee, or in YouTube. You can always ask questions here with me live or just in the chats. You can ask questions that way. If you want them to be anonymous, you can also do it that way. I won't call you out or make you come on camera with me if you're not comfortable with that. But if I'm asking or speaking about anything and you feel like you want to know more or you're curious, I really invite you to just ask questions. So I am Monique Derwin. I am the integrative mind-body coach. I teach people to self-heal using an integrative approach. This approach will address any ailment. I know that's a huge claim, and I know that's really hard for people to understand. But when I tell you that I have personally used this protocol for many different chronic pain symptoms, illnesses, diseases, along with mental and emotional stuff. So I suffered with severe depression for years. I had traumatizing, crippling anxiety for a long time. I was on multiple medications for this. So I know what that's like as well. And I know that pain sometimes can trigger anxiety and vice versa. What we want to look at is anything that is creating stress in the environment, whether it's the job, the home, whatever's going on, right? Like whatever stress is happening, our body takes that on. So whatever's happening in the external environment around us contributes to the way that we think and feel. And the way that we think and feel becomes our personal reality. And so when we're in that space of so much confusion, so much frustration, overwhelming anxiety, panic, things like that, it's really hard to have the energy to move forward. And long term, this can actually create more illness and dis-ease, D-I-S-ease, lack of ease in the body, right? And can manifest pain points. So some of the questions that I were asked by a few different people, some of them are clients and some of them are not clients and they don't know me. They've never worked with me, but they've been doing this work is what they call it, right? So when we talk about the work, in my definition of the work, it is alignment of thoughts and actions to heal. So often we think that because we have a manual or a script or a journal or a program or some information, that that is enough, that this knowledge is what does the healing, it's what helps. And I remember being there. I've been on this journey for over 20 years now. And up until about 6 years ago, I had so much information, like books of information, so much knowledge. I could tell you verbatim what these books said. I knew them and they were memorized, but I wasn't practicing the information. I didn't know how to embody it on a real life level. I knew the words. I knew what the definitions were. I could get somewhere, right? But I couldn't get to the point where I was actually healing physically, mentally, or emotionally. And so what I learned was knowledge is great, but experience is more. And so the more that I experienced this work, the more I took the action, the more that I did the thing that was uncomfortable, that was painful, the more that I played in the anxiety, as crazy as that sounds, the easier it was to move forward, right? So I was asked, I've been doing this work, but it's not working. And I would say, I know, I remember being there. I suffered with that for a long time. I kept showing up and doing the things. I was committing. I was going to yoga. I was doing the journaling. I was trying all the tools that were recommended, but I wasn't embodying them, right? And so after I was trained in the punchline approach, then I began to embody this differently. There's so much more than just this information. There is the neurology of the nervous system, the past memories, the stored trauma, right? The body remembers what the mind does not. And so the body would be triggered. So there's tools and ways that I can get in there with you, that I can help you shift that. And I know it works because it's not only worked with me, but with multiple clients that I have serviced. I have a huge list of just client feedback on my websites and stuff. You can always check that out there. It's not working because there has to be this gentleness and this surrender. And it's so hard. It's so hard when we want something so bad and we can't figure it out. And that push is what blocks the manifesting, the creating, the alignment, the ease. And so it's hard to see that in ourselves. The unconscious is so thick. It's a beast. Our brain is so smart. It's always trying to protect. And so if you have a hard time seeing that, if you've really struggled and you've been doing all this work and you can't get there, I would say you haven't done it from this space that I teach from. And so if you're interested in going there, I'd love to have a conversation with you. Completely complimentary. Let's just jump on a Zoom call like this and talk. Because I may have some resources for you. I may be able to let you get some information that can bring you to the next level. Even if it's not with me, I may have a next step for you. So just food for thought, right? Playing that. One of my clients said, what am I missing? Right? What am I missing here? I'm doing all this stuff again, right? It's kind of a common thing. What am I missing? I know it feels like we're missing a lot. I know it feels like we're not getting there. But that's because we're doing it in the brain. And this isn't mindset, y'all. I know the power of mindset. I know the power of the thoughts. And I promise you, I was hardcore in that for a good year, at least. Change your thoughts, change your thoughts, change your thoughts. I did that. And it was beautiful. But it didn't change me. So we're not going to get the healing in the brain because the brain is what creates the drama. All of the pain is felt in the brain. Everything is deciphered in the brain. The brain tells us what the pain is, how bad it is, if we should or shouldn't feel it anymore, right? All of this information. And we're not going to solve the brain with the brain. Okay? This is Einstein's theories. I just talked to a client about this a few minutes ago. We're not going to solve the energy in the same energy that created it. And so that constant push and pull in the brain, in the thought, right, just creates tons of chaos, tons of conflict. We have to decompress the nervous system. We have to find a neutral space. We have to create balance, right? Which leads me to my next question. What is one thing I can do every single day to feel different? It's one thing. This is one of my favorite topics. I have the presence practice. This is all we did in there. Getting present, getting present, getting present, getting present. The one thing you can do to stop the spin is to create presence. Unfortunately, most of us haven't been taught how to do that. And we've been made to believe that we should do other things instead, right? Like read the book. like watch the show, like get on Facebook. We use things as a distraction. That actually pulls us further away from ourselves. We really just want to go back to ourselves. But that is so uncomfortable, right? Tell me if I'm wrong. If you love just hanging out with yourself, you're cool. That you might be a unicorn. But most people have a really difficult time going into themselves because it feels very uncomfortable. And so in that space, we tend to push things away. We tend to create a little more space, like between ourselves and the things, right? Like, so we put walls up. We create protection, safety. The one thing you can do every single day is get present. This might look like just taking a breath, as simple as that sounds. It might look like smelling an oil, right? I keep orange on my desk. Immediately, the olfactory senses are opened up. Immediately, the brain goes into a different way of thinking, a different wavelength. Immediately. 1 second. 1 second. That's all I need, right? Or I could try to distract myself. I could watch Netflix or get on Facebook. And if I do that, I'm going to actually overstimulate my brain and I'm going to create more panic, more stress, more disturbance. And I'm going to push that softening, that ease away instead of connecting back. Presence will always be our best friend. It's going to be one of the most important steps. It's the first thing that I work with on my clients, getting them present. And this may take several days, weeks, months, a year even with some people to really, really get there. So give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to not set expectations, to not think that you're missing out, to not think that things aren't working. Give yourself permission to really ask, what do I need? What do I need? If we could get out of the head for just a moment, if we could get out of that chatter, out of those thoughts, right? Those thoughts, they are so crazy. They really do cause chaos. We could really drop in for just a few moments. We can make different choices, right? That prefrontal cortex doesn't have blood flow whenever we are in a space of distraction or survival, or any of the nervous system responses have been kicked on, right? So fight, flight, freeze, fawn, right? All those things. When any of that is active, we actually don't have capacity to think the way that we usually do. What makes easy choices, what makes good decisions for us, right? That's really hard. But if we can drop in, if we can create some presence, if we can, right, just for a moment, could you do things different? Why does the pain come and go? Was another question I was asked. And it's part of the process, right? The pain comes and goes when I am triggered with something in reality. The beautiful part of this is I am a master of healing triggers. This is literally like one of the best things that I know how to do. So that thing that triggers the pain, we're going to go in and address. And we're going to do it with such a different way than anything you've ever done before. And I know this because it's my program. I've taken years and years and years of some of the most amazing courses from the best teachers ever. I have worked under some of the most amazing programs. And what I found was in all of those years of doing that work, each one was missing one little part. One little tiny thing that just couldn't put it together for me, and I would get really frustrated. But over time, instead of throwing all that in the garbage, I took the best parts that I learned from each thing, each lesson, each step, each journey, and I merged it into my own stuff. And when I created this program and I did this work myself, things were different. The results that I got were in alignment with what I truly wanted. And so I was able to create healing in my physical body, in my heart, in my timeline of my past story. I was able to get off of 9 medications that I took daily. I've lost a total of 100 pounds. I am flexible and free. I manifest with ease the things that I need in life. This is not just because I read a book or I learned this thing. It's because I live this life. I take steps every single day that create this for me. And I want to share that with you. I want to share with you the possibility of self-healing. I want to share with you how to move through these pain points, how to put down the anxiety and the panic. I want to share with you how to heal your body in your own way. This is what I help people do. I teach them to learn to self-heal their own bodies. And it is beautiful because these results last long term. Because I'm not giving you some medicine to stop a symptom. I'm not trying to cover up something. We're not putting stitches on something. We're not gluing it shut. We're not just treating a symptom. We are going to go to the root cause of why this pain, this anxiety, this depression, whatever it is, manifested in your physical body. We create everything, even our own sickness, as hard as that is to hear. I created my own illness, and it was awful. And it was so lonely. And it was hard. And no one should have to experience that. And so I am here to share what brought me out, what many others have successfully used to bring themselves out with. This is possible. I know that we may have been in a space before where we've never heard these things, that who just goes and self-heals, right? But it's available and it's beautiful. And so it's just so magical. I don't even have words for it. It's so beautiful to be in that space, to physically let your tissue shift, to have your physical body feel different, and doing it completely on your own. There's nothing like this. This is a tool that you'll learn to use over and over again, that you'll never lose. You'll be able to keep forever, and you will continue to grow with it. Which brings me to my next question, which is really one of those that's been hard to answer. But I know that I need to say it. And I was asked, is everything mind, body? And I would say everything can be mind, body. We can undo these things. And when I say mind, body, what I mean is my body feels what my mind is saying and creating. And so the way that I feel is a direct relationship to my mind. So my mind is creating frozen shoulder, lung problems, tension in my jaw, my blood pressure, anxiety, depression. When the brain is so active, and it's doing these things out of alignment, it doesn't give the body what it needs to heal. And so the amount of energy that it takes to heal your body physically, like realistically in real life, right? The amount of energy that it takes to heal our body in real life is a lot. It's a lot, a lot, a lot. It's a lot. And so if my brain is taking up all this energy and my adrenaline is just pumping, 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 and I'm getting exhausted and I can't, all the things, right? My headache comes up, my migraine comes up, the anxiety rises, the stomach starts, right? All the things start happening in the body. We can't have the energy to start healing over here because this is so aggressive, it's so active, and we only have so much. Does that make sense? So you can't reach and handle both spaces. You can't heal the nervous system and heal the physical body at the same time. One will win. The one that's going to keep you alive is going to win. So your heart's going to keep beating, and your lungs will keep pumping, and the blood will keep circulating. And you might produce tears. You might produce urine. You might digest food. But the lung condition won't go away. The migraine won't stop. The anxiety won't decompress because the body is fighting, 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 fighting. So, how to deal with all of this, right? So much information in such a short time, I know. How to deal with all of this. Let's jump on a call. Let's just jump on a call. If you have questions here, feel free to put them in the chats. If you want me to talk again about something that I already talked about and you need me to reiterate it, let me know. I have so many options for you, and I can meet you wherever you are. Different programs, different things going on, different options, different tools. Whether it's just a link that I send you to, or whether it's an intense one-on-one opportunity for you. We won't know unless we talk, right? There's literally no pressure for me, but this is what I do. I help people learn to self-heal. And so if you feel like there's more than what you've been told, if you feel like there's got to be something that I'm missing, what am I missing, right? If you feel like I've been doing this work and I'm not getting it, it's not working. If you feel like it comes and goes, if you're not sure if this is mind body, let's just have a conversation. I'm not going to try to convince you of anything. We're just going to have a conversation. Let me know where you are so I can see if I can help you. You wouldn't be on this call. You wouldn't be on the YouTube right now. You wouldn't be waiting for this in your inbox if something wasn't in your brain thinking there had to be something more. There had to be something else. So I invite you in. Consultations are completely complimentary. I'm going to put the link down in the bottom of the YouTube. Just schedule a call. Let's talk. See where you are, right? I teach people to learn to self-heal. That's all I do. And it's been amazing. And so if you're open to exploring this, let's go further. Let's see what this says. Yeah. So some of the modalities that I use, I was originally trained years ago as a hairdresser. After years of touching physical bodies, I became a massage therapist, a yoga instructor. I moved through several different types of trainings and healing modalities, trying to find that one thing, right? And so I used meditation, and I used mantras, and I used journaling, and I did scripting, and I did chakras, and I did alignment, and I did all these things, okay, for years and years and years. If I put the certifications on my wall, I don't know if you would see a wall, because for 20 years, 25 years now, I was in total education, just trying to find that one way. And what I realized was between all of those ways, there wasn't one way that worked for all people. But when I picked up that book back there, The Punchline Approach, and I brought in all the things that I was licensed in, right? I'm a nervous system specialist. I'm a breathwork facilitator. I'm a yoga instructor. I have so many hats, so many different modalities that I've used over the years. And some of them are physical, some of them are mental, some of them are spiritual, some of them are emotional, right? I'm trained in trauma therapy and informed in so many other things in that space as well. And so I have taken my personal experience, my shift from chronic pain, of being hospitalized, of being on medication, of all the surgeries that I had to have. I took that experience and I integrated all of the knowledge, all of the book knowledge that I had here with my physical experience, and I merged them to create a completely different program. So regardless of what the pain point is, whether it is a depression or anxiety, or whether it's a physical thing, or whether it's a disease, right? So whether it's organs, right? Whether it's seizures, whether it's migraines, whether it's scoliosis, arthritis, fibromyalgia. I've worked with people in all these fields. People that couldn't get in their cars to drive because their anxiety was so high now take road trips alone. People that couldn't get on the train with their children now ride the train with their children all the time. People that couldn't get on an airplane now get on airplanes with a few weeks, a few weeks of work with me. I can get you into a different headspace. I can get you into a different physical space. This is what I do. So if you want to do a consultation, if you feel led to continue talking to me or follow along, look me up, friend me on Facebook. Watch the other stuff in my YouTube channels. I have tons of videos here, right? Go to my website, look at the reviews from my clients, the actual people that have changed because of this work. This process is an experience. There are not words to define what I can bring you through. So if you're open to healing, if you truly want to put this down, if you're really done with feeling this way, this works. Oftentimes people are at the bottom when they get here. It is the rock bottom. It is that there's nowhere else to fall, and it's really hard. And so if that's, where you're feeling, then I can definitely help you. Did that answer your question? I kind of talk in circles. I had a little ADD brain, but I usually go right back to where we started. So, yeah, I'm Monique Derwin. I'm the integrative mind body coach, and I do teach people how to self-heal with this integrative approach, which my personal mentor wrote this book, and I've been with her since 2016. And so I encourage you to just come into the world and investigate and let's just have a conversation. Let's do a call. Completely complimentary, no strings attached, just to offer some insight if that is what you need. So that's what I'm available for. I do have some opportunities coming up here soon, and so again, I'm available to meet with anybody this week. I have an opening tomorrow and Wednesday. Tomorrow is 2:30 p.m. Tuesday, and then Wednesday at noon. And so this is Mountain Time, and I can attach the schedule link as well. And so if you feel led to just talk, we can always do that either through Zoom or the phone. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this up. I've answered the questions that I was asked to answer on here. And if anybody else has any other questions or you want me to speak to anything specifically, please, please, please just let me know, because I'm not a mind reader, but I can totally respond to whatever you need. So whether it's a specific illness or ailment that you're struggling with, we can get to the root causes. If you want to identify what those are, those emotional disconnections, that's my specialty. If it is just, exploring information, you can go there too. So if you have any questions, just ask. That's the easiest way to get to the next place. And I'm an open book on this work. My story is completely public. I have several podcasts and interviews out about my own self-healing, as well as what my clients have experienced. And I'll be bringing some more of that in here very soon. So get in the email list, go to the member vault, check out what I have there, look at the website, friend me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, whatever makes sense, right? But I have a way to help. And I've watched it so many times, and it's just amazing. Like there's nothing like this. And so if you tried all the things and what you're doing isn't working, I truly invite you into my world, just to come hang out, to have a conversation, and see if we can go any further. All right. So I'll be back on Saturday for Mindful Movements. Taking requests at this point for whatever anybody wants. So if there's any pain point that's bothering you, let me know. There may also be some mindful movements in the YouTube right now for what you're struggling with. So check it out. There is neck, there's spine, there's hips, there's presence, there's anxiety stuff in there as well. And so I walk you through just some really short few moments where you can get connected and shift that inside. And so that's there as well. So resources are free. They're all available. And just thank you for joining me. I appreciate you spending your time with me here tonight. So I am Monique Derwin. I'm the Mind Body Coach. And I'm just so thrilled to be doing this work and helping people. So if you suffer, if you have pain, if you have anxiety, if you're struggling,